Washington's Skagit Valley is famous for its sweep of beautiful and productive farmland. It spreads from among the foothills of the majestic Cascade Mountains in a valley that opens to the sparkling marine waters of Puget Sound. Agriculture is a centerpiece of Skagit County's landscape, economy, and culture. Many Skagit farm families have been stewarding their pieces of the valley for generations.
My name is Fred DeVries. My family moved here in the 1960s into what they call now the Nookachamps Valley, and the Nookachamps Creek runs through this area, and it's been known for having very fertile farm ground. I'm trying to leave the ground and my whole farm better for the future. So the steps we took to get the buffer installed was through our local district. They have these bulletins that come out and they say, here, we have money for installing CREP. So then you say, well, you know, I might have some ground that would actually benefit from that. I'm not using it anyways. I can maybe generate a little money from it. At that point, we get in contact with the Skagit Conservation District, specifically Joe. Joe starts initiating the steps. He has to see if the ground is actually qualifies for it. Is it what kind of soil type? What watershed is it in? How much funding there is? All those things. But the nice thing is, they take care of all that. All you pretty much have to do is say, hey, this is what we have. This is the area that I'm thinking about, and show me what it would look like. So we kind of worked through that back and forth. Eventually, we came up with something that would actually suit both of us. The other issue, you know, we have to deal with is there is a levee along here. So how are you going to work with the Dike District? And they were able to allow us to leave enough room on top of the levee in order to where we could still make sure that it was doing its job, because as Dike District managers, and we're still responsible for that part of it. Farmers want to take care of their ground. We want to do a good job. We just have to have the tools in order to do it.
My name is Leslie Price, and I've lived in the Skagit since 1990. I'm a farmer, particularly I'm an orchardist. I grow tree fruit mostly. The name of my farm is Jones Creek Farms. It is in the Upper Skagit Valley. Yeah, I didn't really feel like it was my personal responsibility when I first bought this land to protect it. I kind of felt the other way around, actually. Like, why should it befall me to do all this? However, the longer I was here, the more I realized that here I am at the end of the creek as it meets the mountains where the fish end up here. They are relying on me to take good care of their spawning grounds. And if I don't do it, it's all going to be for naught for them. The CREP program through the Conservation District was the main source that we used. Everything is coordinated through them. It's so simple, it's crazy. There's no hassles. The biggest change that I've noticed is I actually have a water level monitor up by my house where I can watch the water level during flood events, which occur regularly. There haven't been any damage occurring since we've been managing the stream with plantings.
My name is Jimmy Kinsel, and I've lived in the Skagit area for about 20 years now. I am the caretaker and co-owner of Southern Exposure Family Farm. Our farm is a part of the Samish River watershed. When we first bought the property, it was a farm, but it had lie fallow for several decades. We could have done something as simple as a fence and a riparian buffer, but we decided that for us to have a bigger impact, we worked with the U.S. Department of Agriculture and their NRCS program. So the NRCS program that we went through, they paid for the design work, they paid for the equipment, the excavator. I was able to help work and find people to do the work, working with Skagit Fisheries Enhancement Group, working with the Samish Indian Nation and the Skagit River systems. They were all about working with us as farmers to see what the balance was to help our farm, but to also help the watershed. If you were to look at this from an aerial view, you'll see this corridor now has become a wildlife corridor. We have geese, we have blue herons, we have otters, we have salmon. When a high water event happens, I've had adult salmon that were spawned out in our field. If you think about the salmon going upriver, that's what they're doing as they're bringing nutrients from the ocean. We're very fortunate that Skagit County has the water we have. I can only imagine what California's going through with their water, because they're in a desert trying to irrigate. We're fortunate that what we have here, but we still have to protect what we have here.
My name is Joe Holtkamp, and I work for the Skagit Conservation District. I'm the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program Coordinator, which is CREP. That's what we're standing in is CREP. The Conservation District basically provides technical assistance to landowners through incentive-based voluntary programs. We offer a various number of programs to landowners, whether it be a small backyard farmer or a commercial operation. So the farmers I've worked with, the reason they've enrolled in CREP is because of the rental rates. They're much higher than they'd receive from renting their land out for crops. So my first thing that I do with them is listen to what their goals are, what they're trying to accomplish. And then we take those goals and work them into a plan that also addresses natural resources on their property to enhance them if needed. Especially in these low land agricultural areas, these CREP buffers, once they grow up over time, when these streams flood, it keeps the debris out of the farmers' fields. It keeps it in the project or back in the stream channel. And for some landowners, they just like to know that they're not part of the problem or contributing to a water quality problem. And so that's an incentive for them.
The Skagit community is grateful to farmers who have planted buffers and are protecting water. Watch the other videos in this series and visit the website to learn more about warming waters in the Skagit.